Hi everybody, Sunny here. Today I'm going to work on a journal page spread, and I have put tape on this side of my page so that I'm hoping that all the schmutzing and whatever I do won't get onto this side of my page if I'm careful. I used drafting tape, plus I stuck it to my jeans a few times to make it, as low tack as possible. Drafting tape is very low tack tape, but I have had trouble once with pulling up a little bit of my journal page on the other side, so I'm going to make a little extra effort to be careful this time, and we'll see how that goes. So I got out a bunch of mark making stuff that I have in my handy dandy drawer, and this is like the seal to the bottom of a blender. Cookie cutter or biscuit cutter. I have the two larger sizes I use, but I don't use this one, so I brought that in. It's got kind of this cool, funky, ripply edge to it. This is that needlepoint plastic stuff, and I just got a bunch of these in a package like at St. Vinny's or something, the thrift store. Bobbin. Domino with the indents where the numbers are. Has my favorite numbers, 7 and 3. This is an Upwards tile, a game from the game Upwards, and it's hollow on the back and has this cool square pattern, and then this has a small solid square pattern. Spool of thread. Couple of smaller spools. This one, if you ink it just right and you have it on smooth paper, you can see, probably you can see it better there, the lettering. See if you can see that or not. And sometimes it'll stamp that lettering. So just a couple of different sizes for circles. And I have this cool funky wood scoop that comes, in one of those canisters, and it has a little loop and it sticks in there. So this makes a really cool shape. This is like you use to get the jar lid off, and it makes kind of a cool funky background. And I just have a wide mouth jar lid. I'm using this palette today. It's from my palette system, and I have Quinacridone Magenta from Blick and Deep Violet from Liquitex Basics. So I'm just going to spread those out and then use, put the paint on my fun little stuff here, and we'll see how that goes. So I'm just going to spread out the paint a little bit. I'm just using my fingers over here. You probably can't see off, but I'm just kind of doing this so it spreads the paint around so that you can pick it up. Wipe it off on my napkin, and I'm just going to do the same thing here, and I'm going to kind of spread it down farther this way so we can get into it well. And I just spread it out so that you don't have as big of clumps. You don't have big blobs when you go to stamp your things in there. Some of them are going to be a little blobby anyway, but I really want to try this out. I think this is going to be really cool. So I think I'm going to use it in that deep purple. See if I can get it to pick up any of that stuff. My palette is a little bit warped apparently, so the one that comes in that palette system, the top wide palette, is a little warped. I think I'm going to use these kind of like maybe flowers, maybe? Oh, that's cool. Okay, I'm back, and I'm going to use this Mr. Huey's Sunshine, and I'm going to spray it on this palette and add just a touch of water, and then I'm going to smush these around in it. So let me put some spritz over here. And I'm going to add some water with my wonderful water bottle. I'm going to smooch it all around though. Spray it all over my studio. That's a great plan. And I'm just kind of going to do this and just let it kind of smooch around a little bit. I think I'm going to add a little bit more water, because I kind of don't want it to be that super orange color. I kind of want it to be that bright sunshiny yellow. So let's just see what happens. Uh-oh. The tape all stuck together there. I'm going to try not to get it onto my other pages here. Okay. I need a paper towel. I'm going to kind of try and get this off the edges so it doesn't go down underneath. This is the blank one, so it's not quite such a huge deal, because I can go over the other side. Okay, I'm going to do the same thing, trying really hard not to get it on this other journal page, because I really don't want it having a green and yellow color all over it. Okay. Do the same thing here. Try to get up all the drips. Try not to let them get on my other page. Wipe this up good. Looks good. Okay. So I've got some yellow on there. I think what I'm going to do now is get my fingers in it and just do this. Just give it a little bit of something there, a little texture, well, visual texture. It's not actual texture. Just give it a little something. Because I really like how it looks over the purple. So maybe what I need to do is just kind of stick that one spot into the color again. And wipe off the excess. And set it back down. Yeah, that's good. Okay, I'm going to do that on this one too a little bit, I think. Okay. Get the excess off here. Of course, I probably got it on my fingers on the other side of the page, but we're going to hope I didn't. Okay, I'm back, and I was hem-hawing about what other color I want to use on this page, and I don't want to put a ton more color down or cover up a whole lot. I really like what I have going here, but I thought I'd maybe do some flower centers with a mixture of these two. This is Bright Aqua Green by Liquitex Basics. This is Light Blue Permanent, and I kind of like a little bit of a mix between the two. So I'm going to put some of that on my palette. Okay, I got everything dried and kind of cleaned up a little bit. Put the extra paint that I had on another piece of paper that's like this. I had it under where I spray painted those drawers in my hand. So that's out of the way drying. But I don't really want to put any more color on this. I really, really love this color scheme. I think it might be a new favorite. I'm always like the purple and the yellow orange together, but I really like the kind of teal aqua color thrown in with that. So I'm just going to do some doodling, but because I have exposed gesso, I am not going to use anything felt tipped because it will clog up the felt tip. So your Sharpies, your Microns, your Pitt pens, especially the smaller nibs, if you go over that gesso, it is going to ruin your pen, and there's no getting around it. I've tried, unless you seal it. And I'm not going to do that because it's just acrylic and inks, and it's not going anywhere. Everything's permanent. So I don't see any reason to do that. But I am going to use this pen. It's made by Foray. It's called Advanced Ink Ballpoint. It's bold, which is 1.2 millimeter. I got this at either Office Max or Office Depot. One of them has them, one of them doesn't. I think it's Office Depot. It is permanent. It is a rollerball pen with, you know, a nice bigger end, but it dries permanent, which I have been looking for a while. I heard someone mention it on their video. So I'm going to give it a whirl with this and do some doodling with that. I will probably fast forward the doodling part since, you know, you don't really want to sit here and watch me make every little line, but you can still see what I'm doing. So here we go. Okay, well, I think I found myself a new favorite color scheme, and I think that's about all I want to do. I really like it like this. It doesn't need a whole lot more, I don't think. I love these colors together. I've always loved this purple and yellow together, but this teal, kind of aqua teal color is just, I love it. It just, the way it brings that bit of brightness to the page. So I think I am going to put a date stamp on this and be done. Thanks for watching. I forgot I was going to show you the tape when I take it off, and we'll see how it did. So I'm just going to peel very slowly. And it looks like a little tiny bit seeped under the tape in a couple of places there. So you want to be really careful pulling it off so you don't pull up anything. Kind of go a little bit at a time and just go slow. Okay. Looks like it did a pretty good job of keeping it from getting onto this page. Most of it stayed good. I have a tiny bit of, you know, yellow right there, but it's not hardly noticeable on this particular page. So it looks like it did pretty good, and it didn't pull up my tabs or anything either, so that's good. So that worked out well. So stick it to your jeans a few times first before you go to peel off, and this back paper isn't going to matter as much, but do be careful because this watercolor paper that I'm using anyways can have the surface you know, torn just a little bit if you're not careful. But it seems to be coming up just fine, so just want to be really careful so you don't peel up the edges. Like right there was a tiny bit, but it's fine. It's not going to show later. And if you do kind of rough up this, you can just burnish it back down and you can't tell. So I'm trying really hard not to tear any of this up, because I want my little tabs to still be able to do their job. That one would have been better if it was a little less sticky, but I think we're okay. So I can put these in my journal. I think I am going to go ahead and Collage Page over this because I do not want these to stick together, and I have not had trouble with Collage Page pages that have actual Collage Page, this stuff. I haven't had trouble with those sticking. So I am going to go ahead and do that, and I'm just going to do that off camera. You don't need to see that. So I'm really going this time. Bye.